Welcome back, everybody. So here we got the 125cc trike that I built for under $300. And as you guys can see, I took off the motor the other day and got the frame all painted up. I did the frame a gray color. I forgot what the exact color is, but it's all gray, as you guys can see. I also did some welding under here, holding on the motor mounts. I did some welding back here. There's a little bit. Those weren't too good, but there's some more right there. So I welded up those pieces. I painted the axle black. Got all the chain tensioner and the brake rotor all nicely sanded down silver. And as you can see, it came out pretty good. But the reason why I had to take it apart was the day that I put on new tires for it. I started driving it for a little while, and I noticed that the throttle response wasn't working really good. So I took off the air filter. It was still the same. And then I did check the oil, and there was quite a bit of shavings. So from there, I said, you know what? That engine was leaking quite a bit of oil. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and take it off, tear it apart, and see what the piston looks like. So I take off the head, disconnect the timing chain. And then I take off the head, and then I check to see how much the piston is going to rock up and down. And it was rocking up and down quite a bit. So I knew that the piston rings needed replaced. So I went ahead and pulled off the block, and it was scored up quite a bit. So the block was scored up and the piston needed to be replaced. It had a lot of scratches on it. The engine is in that green box right there. It's a bunch of different parts. And then I went ahead and took off the clutches, and the clutches were pretty bad as well. They needed to be replaced. And that engine leaked oil quite a bit every day. It was just the two side covers where they bolt onto the actual engine. Those ones had a slight bend in it, so it was leaking oil from there. Even if you were to replace the gaskets on it, it would still leak. So they needed to resurface and stuff. So I just said, I'm going to go ahead and buy a new engine for it. The engine's going to cost me another $300. So this is going to be basically a $600 trike. But I really like it. I feel like it's just right for me. I like the feeling that it feels like a dirt bike, but it also feels like a quad or a four-wheeler, whatever you want to call it. But in today's video, I had a lot of people complaining about how there's no seat on it. So I have this old headrest from an old go-kart that I had, and I feel like this just looks really good. Let me see. As you can see, it looks pretty good. I don't want it to be too big of a seat because the Kickstarter from where you start it normally sticks out right here where you start the bike when the engine's on it. So you don't really want to have the seat sticking out too far to the point where you can't start it. And then I also wanted it to be a little seat. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on there. I feel like it looks pretty good. It's a headrest off of a go-kart, but it looks like a seat, and it doesn't look really bad. So we're going to go ahead and make a mount for it today. I found this piece of, let's see, weldable 3/16 by 1 1/4 inch flat stock, 3/16 thick. So it is pretty thick. We're going to go ahead and put this on here and mark some holes and drill some holes in there. We're also going to put it right here and probably weld it in or bolt it in. Doesn't really matter. Most likely going to bolt it in, but I feel like it would look pretty good. Let's see. It's going to go somewhere around there. So yeah, we'll get started on it. I'll show you guys how to mark the holes, and then we'll go ahead and get it mounted up to the frame. All right, so these are 1/4 20 holes where the bolts screw in. 1/4 20, so 1/4 inch bolts. They're not fine thread, they're normal thread. We're going to go ahead and screw these in. Come on. Probably as far as they go, it'll just make it a little better. We're going to leave a little bit sticking out like that. Then we'll tighten these up. I'm going to try and make them flush with each other. Let's see how that looks. Well, we can go a little more. A little more. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to grab a paint marker, lay some paint onto these bolt heads, and then we'll go ahead and get this flat stock and lay it on there. And I should make 2 little marks right there where the paint's going to go. And it should mark it pretty good. Alrighty, so we got them marked up. As you guys can see, 1 black dot right there. And right there, they didn't come out really good, but they should be enough just to get it drilled out. Yeah, they look like they match up. As you can see, the paint on the heads of the bolts. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take this to the drill press. You can use a regular drill, but we're just going to put it on the drill press to make some more straight holes, and we should be good. Alrighty, so we got the holes drilled up and they mounted up pretty good. As you guys can see, pretty nice bracket. Let's go ahead and snug this little nut down just by hand. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and lay it onto the trike. I'd say right around there. How does that look? Looks pretty good. The plate should be sticking out right there. Yes. I guess we could just match it up to that zip tie right there. So this one matches up to that zip tie. And then this one, where's the plate? Right there. Let's see if that's level. Looks pretty good. So with that one, I'm gonna go ahead and get an expo marker and mark this one. Right there. So that's where it's gonna get bolted on. Looks pretty good. This one marks right next to that zip tie. All right, let's go ahead and take this back off. Loosen up these nuts, and then I'll go ahead and test fit it and then either weld it up or bolt it on. We'll see, but yeah. Alrighty, so I got it all bolted on. I just used some self-tappers holding it onto the frame. Some pretty heavy-duty self-tappers. And then under here, there you guys can see, one bolt is right there. And then there's another one hidden back here. And those are the two bolts that are bolting it onto the seats. And then there's two self-tappers holding on the mounts onto the actual frame. And pretty sturdy. I think it's a pretty comfy seat. Has a lot of foam in it, but anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.